start off with, what does SMART stand for? And SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. And I'll kind of go through those individually. So the S stands for specific, and that means that you make sure that your goal is specified instead of being more broad. So an example that I kind of chose is, instead of saying, I want to be more healthy, you should probably specify it. And you can say, I want to lose more weight, I want to eat more fruit and vegetables, just kind of more specific on what you want to change. And then you also want to make sure that it's something that you can measure. So you should choose something that can help you keep track of your progress. So an example would be, I want to lose 5 centimeters in abdominal circumference, which is like your waist kind of area, by the end of a 3-month period. So that kind of gives it something you can kind of base it off of. And then the next one is achievable. So you want to make sure it's something that you're actually able to achieve. So for example, you may set a goal of wanting to be able to exercise for at least 6 hours a week by the end of this year. And this will be more achievable than trying to exercise 12 hours each day. And then the next one is relevant, and it's just to make sure that your goal is something that relates to your short or long-term plans. And this is kind of based off of the event. I chose you're trying to achieve a weight loss goal. So you can do this by having a loss of pounds, lossing abdominal circumference, eating more well-balanced meals, and then obtaining academic achievement. And then this kind of touches on timely. So just having a time frame associated with whatever goal that you have. So it could be by the end of the week, by the end of the month, year, or within 5 years. And then this is just an activity, but just in general. So that's
some of the gut hormones, leptin, ghrelin, amylin. The medications that people are asking for today are based off of the work of those gut hormones. Now, if you have issues with absorption and you can't even absorb the nutrition, the prebiotics that you need for producing the hormone, you're going to have a problem. So, again, not all providers are equipped to deal with these things. The most that they might tell you is, okay, well, let's check your thyroid. Let's check and make sure your thyroid hormones are in balance. They need to be in balance. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. If your thyroid hormones are not in balance, you are going to have some major metabolic problems and a lot of other things as well. So it needs to be checked for sure. But that's not the end of it. Then we have, like, probably, like I mentioned, the Ozempic, the GLP-1 category of medications. There's also amylin medications, and then there's combinations of GLP-1 and amylin medications that are combined together to work to mimic the hormones that's in your body. And then you probably heard on TV, at least I've been seeing it a lot, advertisement, come in and get your peptide therapy. There are practices that are opening up now that are offering peptide therapy to help you lose weight, to inject your body with peptides. So I have on there what exactly peptides are. Amino acids. And then peptides that they don't want to put in you are the short chain amino acids. Proteins. So make sure you're familiar with those definitions, because you're going to, if you haven't already, you're going to see them a lot. And then you also want to be prepared, so when you do talk to your provider and they start talking to you about things, it's not like totally foreign, that you've actually heard of these things, you're kind of familiar with it, and you know a little bit about what's going on, because you're not gonna get 4 hours to sit there and go through this. You'll break it up and you come back, you know, you come, I don't know how many sessions you do with people, but, it takes some time. All right, so we established that obesity is a chronic condition and it's due to an excess amount of body fat. Obesity risk, again, repeating metabolic syndrome, energy expenditures, and imbalance. You cannot eat like a fat cat and then go sit somewhere in a corner and don't do anything. You're gonna blow up like a balloon. So energy expenditure, even with the hormone factor, you must have a balance in energy and expenditure. Inadequate physical activity is a major contributor to obesity. Unhealthy nutritional choices. McDonald's. Don't start your kids off going to McDonald's. Obesity doesn't just happen when you become an adult. For some of us, we only noticed it then. But when you start with your youngsters and your children, don't make them reward. We're going to McDonald's. What are they going to put in you, in your child? Processed food, which Dr. Coleman just told you, it's a major contributor to obesity. So you have to be pretty desperate to want to take a GLP-1. That means you've done everything that you can do. You have changed your diet. You have implemented changes to your physical activity. You have implemented changes to your gut health. You have eliminated all types of trans fats, and you have eliminated all kinds of high lipid products. You changed how you eat. It is a lifestyle change. If you've done everything that you can do, and you're meeting a brick wall, and you're not able to lose the weight, yes, there's help for you. It doesn't always have to be a GLP-1 though. So maybe Dr. Coleman will talk more about functional medicine and how the functional medicine root cause affects the root cause identification and treatment. It's a game changer. So again, I emphasize you cannot, no one can use their own culture as a framework to judge another culture. They're not qualified. They cannot tell you that your herbalist is the devil. They want what the devil got, if that's the case, because they knew it worked. Okay, so I talked about the traditional Chinese medicines, African and Egypt, having the influencing modern medicine because of their traditional herbal medications. It all had to start somewhere. They didn't just wake up one day and come up with this multi-trillion-dollar pharmaceutical industry. It all started somewhere. So these are some commonly used herbs and their properties. And you can, these are so common you probably already know them, and you may want to discuss them with your provider. Things like the chamomile, the peppermint, ginger, turmeric. So these are just simple teas that you can incorporate into your daily life. Instead of having some highly processed food, sit down and have a cup of tea. And sit there and do your morning meditation and your prayer. Relieve some of your stress. This is what your ancestors did, and trust me, they had some stress. A lot. So these are methods, tea preparations, which is easy to do. I grow my herbs in my backyard, and I snatch them off the leaves, brush them off, and come in and I make the tea just like that. Just pour hot water, not really steaming hot, but warm water. And sit there, and then in the morning, I'm praying for you. Praying for my family. Praying for the ministry. Praying for being health. Praying for a better world. Praying for Miss Charlene. A lot of things can happen when you make the decision that you want to change.
All right, so our key considerations. I need you to know that weight management is multifactorial. Multiple things that play a role, okay, and managing weight. But what we can do to help ourselves is to eat healthy, whole foods, okay? Have regular physical activity, like walking and acid resistance training. Get adequate sleep, but not now. Okay? And we want to take care of our gut, okay? When necessary, get medical guidance, okay? So, thank you. You put your name and the date on there. The doctor is in. We write prescriptions. Yeah, these are not real prescriptions. Do I need to do a disclaimer? These are not real prescriptions. You're not going to the pharmacy, and actually we're doing things without drugs. Okay. Looking at questions 4 through 10, if you answer yes to any of them, you're going to write the solution. Okay, now don't write so big if you can't get all your solutions in there. Okay, you got your ink pen? So are you stressed? How can you reduce your stress in a healthy way? Okay, you're not leaning on the bottom. Okay, what can you do? Can you go for a walk? Can you journal? Can you exercise? Can you pick up a healthy hobby? You know, if you eat a lot of fast or processed food, how can you change that? Can you do some meal prep? Can you pack your lunch? Instead of calling DoorDash, can you make a salad? Add a little rotisserie chicken on top. Do you snack often? Can you stop snacking? Can you stop snacking? All right, so do you eat without being hungry? So you're going to write your answer in that prescription, okay? What's the answer? Or what's the plan to the answer to that question, okay? And then you're going to sign. That's your prescription to help transform your life. Now, at Being Health, we are about being healthy and getting healthy. And so a couple of things, you know, moving forward that we'd like to do. We've had some walks at Winton Woods, and I want you all to keep following us, and we'll put up some communications. I'd like to have another walk, a brief walk in Winton Woods next Saturday. I'm calling it evening stroll. Come out for an evening stroll where we just walk in front of the lake, okay? If you can't come out, I'd like for you to post yourself walking wherever you're at, okay? Because we're trying to grow our community. We want to see you having healthy habits, doing what you can. If you can't, you know, walk at Winton Woods, can you walk to the mailbox? Where can you walk? And so I would like to kind of establish, I don't say a walk club, but, you know, we want to get together and encourage physical fitness. The other thing is, in talking about functional medicine, one of our challenges, one of the difficulties, again, the deck is really kind of stacked against us in the sense that we come into contact with so many what we call endocrine disruptors, things that interrupt our health and sabotage some of the hormones, things that we come into contact with some of the things, ingredients in the food. So coming off of that and doing a detox is very important. Who would like to do a detox? Anybody, everybody, nobody? I know I am. And so if you'd like to join me, I do support and promote this book, The Blood Sugar Solution 10-Day Detox, even if you're not diabetic. This is not for somebody who really just wants somebody to give them the pill to be healthy. You can't. You got to do the work, okay? I can't say it enough. You got to do the work, and it's whether what you're doing at home, away from the offices. And if you don't like what I tell you, you don't like what Mr. Rohn tell you. Yeah, you can go to another provider, but we're not gonna fix it for you. It's what you're doing at home, okay? And so this 10-day detox, 10 days. What if 10 days changed your life. 10 days where you came off that sugar, where you put the bread down. Now this, Dr. Mark Hyman, he originally was an emergency room physician, but he had some health challenges, and so he is actually one of the big proponents of functional medicine. Functional medicine is getting down to the cellular level, cellular health, okay? Coming off medicine. Now, if you're on medicine, you don't just stop taking it on your own. You need the care of a physician, the direct care of a physician, okay? So in this 10-day detox, it is so thorough and comprehensive that the week before, you got to do some planning, okay? We don't just jump into it. First, we got to detox your kitchen. I'm sorry. Detox your kitchen, okay? And he has in this recipe for wellness and better health, doing certain baths, and there is a component of taking certain supplements, okay, to help maximize your health. Taking your blood pressure and blood sugar every day, weighing yourself. Okay, so we got the tape measure is to help you, okay, to help jumpstart your participation, and knowing where you're at is key. So the tape measure, if you don't do any other measurement, I want you to measure your waist. And Dr. Hyman recommends taking the measurement around the fullest part, okay? So then you write that down. You're not going to do it now, okay? You don't want any indecent exposure, okay? So you're going to do that in the privacy of your own home, okay? But take that tape measure around your waist, write down the number. The goal for women is for this number to be less than 35, and as you know, statistically shown to be better health, okay? Now a person can have a waist of 25 and still be unhealthy, and still be at risk of early death. I want you to be healthy at the cellular level. So even if you look healthy, you know, are you? And how can you, you know, maximize your health, okay, at the cellular? So this is going to help you maximize your health at the cellular level, okay? So, and we'll be setting some things up, so in probably the next 2 weeks, because we want to, you know, hopefully get you to participate, okay? Finally, are there any questions?
Hello, my name is Marilyn DeLargy, and what I took away from coming to this seminar today is I didn't know anything about detoxing your kitchen. I guess that's where you go through your kitchen and remove all the unhealthy foods that's in your kitchen. So that's something that I will be doing. And there's also a book about a 10-day detox for your body. And I also will need to check into that because I'd like to also do that. So that's what I took away from coming to the seminar today. Thank you.
And my name is Michelle Martin, and one of the takeaways I will say or learning more about is just having your own garden, just growing your own fruits and vegetables. I believe that's a benefit. And also in regards to you know, detoxing, just something that's essential and it's a necessity. And it's always good to just evaluate yourself, and even the items in your kitchen, just that's a good thing to just start going through and see, you know, what's good and what's not, so improve your health. So thank you.
Today I was inspired by just knowing that, going back to what our ancestors did, eating from the earth, using herbs and teas and tinctures, and I am motivated to keep going. I'm already there, but I'm motivated to actually keep going because I know it worked. It worked for them, and I know that it will work for us today.
Hello, I'm Marie Janelle Carter, and I just attended the Being Health Weight Management Health Seminar, and it was great today. A lot of great tips on eating and sleeping and the importance of being in good health. And I guess for me, recently I just had some blood work done and was not happy with my A1C level, so it's really going to help me to bring that down to a much healthier level, as well as get some weight off of me, and just not just about looking good, but also feeling good, and also being able to complete my assignment. I'm faith-based. I believe there's a God in heaven, and that we all have assignments here on this earth, and I want to be in the most healthiest state to complete that. So it's time to do that. So, and I just downloaded the book, The Blood Sugar Level Detox. We're looking forward to getting my levels good and getting some extra weight off. So, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next seminar. So I want to encourage you to join us next time. Yeah.
I know you want more, but that's all for now. And until next time, be in health.